if there's a due diligence time frame, that means for any reason, you don't need an inspector to tell you officially this is a problem. You can just say, I don't like it, and you can back out. There can be any number of contingencies in a contract, but you have to ask for them. The way it is in Oregon, property is sold as is. Today, I'm filling in as the managing principal broker at our office, which means I will be overseeing all of the contracts written or entered into by all of the agents in our office. And so it's always fun to do this. I get to see a whole lot of things. And whenever I sit here, I have to tell you, there is one thing that comes up really frequently, and it's the idea of due diligence. A lot of people, especially buyers, believe that there is a due diligence time frame that's just part of selling a house, that you can figure out whatever you want, research the condition of the home, property, and everything during this due diligence time frame, and then if you don't like it, you can back out and keep your earnest money. Now, this can be a thing if your agent writes specifically into the contract that this is a thing. But if you don't specify and you don't write in the additional provisions or on an extra addendum or somewhere into the contract that there is a due diligence time frame, that isn't something that exists in the Oregon contract without being written in. So if you don't specify that you need one, it's not there. So I don't know why this throws so many people through a loop. In other states, these may be standard parts of a real estate contract, but in Oregon, you have to write it in if you want it. In Oregon, there are a number of contingencies that are part of the contract that you can put in certain timeframes for them. An inspection contingency, time to review the seller property disclosures contingency, a title insurance contingency, an appraisal contingency, financing contingency, water purity contingency. There can be any number of contingencies in a contract, but you have to ask for them. The way it is in Oregon, property is sold as is. The sellers are selling the property. It is not perfect. It has great things and not so great things, and you as the buyer have the opportunity to investigate this property and make sure that you're happy with the condition of the property. It's great as a buyer that we get to do those things, but what the buyer does not get to do is force the seller to make any changes. So if you make an offer on a property and it turns out there's a big old hole in the roof or the whole roof is going to cave in, you as a buyer could back out of the sale because of this hole on the roof. If you have a proper inspection contingency in place and you back out within the proper timelines and using all the proper paperwork, you should be able to back out and get your earnest money back if it is because of what the professional inspector told you within the proper timeline with the proper paperwork. But what you cannot do is force the seller to fix the major hole in the roof. That's not your right as a buyer in Oregon. Now, you can ask for repairs to be made and you can negotiate repairs with sellers, but the home is sold as is. We can't make sellers fix anything. Even if it is a huge problem and it really needs to be fixed, you still cannot make the sellers fix it. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here really quick with a little warning, I guess. If you feel like you need a time frame to investigate any and all aspects of the property, maybe not only due to property condition, maybe due to the uses of the property or the potential for future subdividing or whatever it is that you want to investigate. If you feel that you need a time frame in there, please write yourself in a due diligence time frame. If there's a due diligence time frame, that means for any reason, you don't need an inspector to tell you officially this is a problem. You can just say, I don't like it, and you can back out. If you have a due diligence time frame, You saying, I don't like it and I want to back out is enough. And so it's important to make sure that your contract is written in the best way to protect yourself and your own needs. Hopefully you have a great agent to guide you through this process. If you're in Southern Oregon and you're looking for an agent, I'd be happy to help. I'm Anastasia Hendrick with Century 21 JC Jones American Dream. The office number is 541-476-6502. But of course, if you want to work with me, just give me a call on my cell phone. It is 541-226-6448, and I'll be happy to help you. Best of luck.